Welcome. This is the Between Brothers podcast, where we bring you real talk, authentic takes, and laughs on sports, pop culture, and life. I'm your host, the Duke of Debonairness, Lando in the building. And I have my big brother, Zero, the Chancellor of Charisma, proudly wearing his team, the Jacksonville Jaguars hat, after a dominant win, unlike my team, who blew it at the end. How's your week been?
It's been all right. I got shouted out on Friday. Um, this a lady, she was having a really big bug problem, and it was her first service. So I took care of her so well that she called my supervisor and kept ranting and raving about me. Basically wants me to be the only person to come to her home and treat her home. I was like, I have no problem doing that. I wish they wouldn't be such sticklers and stuff because there's certain people who want familiarity, and there's others that really don't care unless is that they really don't care. They just want you to do the job and just do the job. There's folks that want a lot of familiarity, like you know, if you're with them for a long time, you grow with them, things of that nature. It's like build a relationship so they know what it is that you will do, and there is no negative there's no negative results afterwards. You're kind to them, they're kind to you. It's like it goes in that sort of thing. But on Thursday, so I go to Walmart, and I'm and I've been having this I had this issue. Like I had got a record player, and the records that I have are Bob Marley's and the Wailers' greatest hits, Thriller, um, Kendrick Lamar's "To Pimp a Butterfly," and the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Oh, and Michael Jackson's "Dangerous" album. So I've been waiting a while to get this album. So I'm just thinking, did they put it in circulation? I just go, I start searching through everything, and I start searching through the records, and the record that they've never had that popped up, I got off the wall.
Oh,
I got off the wall. So the only one I'm looking for now is the bad album, and I will be set. It was like, yeah, I that threw me completely off. I was like, what was it? And it was behind a terrible record too. I just flipped behind it, and then I saw it. I was like, oh, you ain't never gonna see a nigga snatch this up like I snatched this up. $20. The only time I told our aunt about it. I said I've only seen Off the Wall album once, like on like Offer Up or the Facebook Marketplace, trying to sell that vinyl for $100.
oh.
I was like, nah, 20? It was like, yo, it's like, take my money now. But there's only one downside. I went to go play my plug in my record player. That bitch started smoking. So now
Mm,
I gotta go get a new one.
mm.
Yeah, like
Album so hot, couldn't handle it.
yo, yo, I just saw a little fire start and some smoke come out. I was like, God damn it. But I could wait a couple of weeks to get a new um record player. That's no issue. That's no issue for me. It's like I waited so long to find the Dangerous album, and then
Yeah.
off the wall just fell into my lap. So I might as well. It's like what's waiting a couple of weeks to get a new record player. And I know the kids have listened to Thriller. Um, Jelly Ball likes a few songs from the Bad album, what she listened to on like YouTube Shorts, but she's never heard Off the Wall nor Dangerous, and she's in for a treat. That's all I got to say about that.
That's just,
And then I try to call. Shout out to Spy. I try to call him. Uh, what was it? We had a pick six taken back by a defensive holding call. Yeah, I was just what was it? If he answered that phone, I was just gonna scream and hang up in his ear. And he did text me and say, "Yo, I think he said Bryce Young is garbage." Yeah,
yeah.
but
But
that's yeah, but that
we'll
was
get
about it.
into some of those games today. My week, so I go to the gym every just about every day, and it's a usual. So I use a Beachbody on Demand. Shout out to them, and I got on there, and the photo had said you have completed 500 workouts, and I was like, dang, that's a lot of workouts, and some harder than others. I don't think I've done anything easy. Now, there's one thing called like walk week that's pretty easy. This is just walking in place, really, but it's actually harder than you would think. But for walking in place, but it's not. It's the easiest thing I've done in there. Um, but yeah, man, it's done a lot of hard work or whatever. And I was like, man, I bought this thing at the end of January. It started at the first Monday of February 2024. And so I was like, I wonder how many days it's been since then. And the joint said it was 580 days. And I was like, 500 workouts in 580 days. Mind you, about I had COVID that put me down for 5 days. That year, all last year. So, yeah, 5 days that put me down for COVID, 11 days that put me down having pneumonia, and then a week put me down for having the flu. So 11, 7, 18, 23 days. I didn't get to work out due to COVID. And another week that I didn't work out because I was on vacation in St. Thomas. So that's 30 days. 30 days I didn't work out. And I was just like, it's like, oh, you probably should have worked out like more days, like at this point. But I'm like, oh no, I actually lost some time. But then I thought about it and I was like, yo, I legitimately got sick in this extended periods of time. And as soon as felt better, I got back to it. Like that's usually an excuse for so many people to be like, I'll wait till Monday, and that Monday will never come. And so I was like, dang, man, I've really been putting in work. And to be honest, I think it's only because I have that program. I think if I was doing my own thing, I don't think I would have stuck with it for as long. But I say that to say, I brush my teeth in the morning. So here's what I'm getting
You
at.
said all that.
To say I brush my teeth in the morning. Why am I talking about brushing my teeth after all that? Because there was a guy who was working out next to me at the gym, and he had bad breath. And so
Describe
here's
his level of bad.
all right, on a level of 1 to 10.
Mm.
On a level of 1 to 10. Probably about 98.6 degrees.
I thought you would say a 1 to 10, it was an H. It's an H as in how the fuck did you come in here with your breath like that?
So this is that was the thought process that ran through my mind. So I had a conundrum because I'm like, why are you in here at the gym with bad breath that I could smell it and you 7 feet away from me? But then I'm like, it's 5 in the morning. This is probably the time you would have bad breath.
Mm.
So now I'm like, should I be mad at him for having bad breath? Or should I be understandable that he has bad breath? Because, morning breath is a thing. I came to the conclusion, breathe that way. Don't breathe in my direction at all. Yeah, turn your head, dog.
He said, I'm good. I'm
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So I didn't say to him that he needed to turn that way. What I said was, you can't come outside without brushing your teeth this early in the morning. But I said it out loud, but not directly to him.
Mm.
So guess what started to happen? He breathed that way. I said, I don't know who it is, because one of the dudes, he pulled up to me and he was like, I don't know. And I said, I don't know who it is, but somebody breath of his kicking, dog. And he was like, what? He was like, man, he was like, that's crazy. I said, it's too early in the morning for somebody like you just gonna come here without brushing your teeth. It takes 2 minutes. It's 5 a.m. The dude was busting out laughing. He was like, man, you too loud for you a little too loud for that. I was like, bro, they know who they are. And then he did. He did, because guess what he started doing?
And if you got a problem with what I said, come see me.
I got these 60 pounders about to go right inside your head for the audacity. I gotta throw them at you, because if you get too close, you in range to knock me out. You in range to knock me out. I don't need that rancid breath you out here like SpongeBob in that episode where everybody was staying away from him. He's like, oh, it's just I have rancid breath. You ain't about to catch me slipping, dog. Anyways, that was my week.
I said all that to say this. I brush my teeth in the morning. I was like, okay. I'm not black, I'm OJ. The fuck? I went through I went through all these illnesses, 500 days of working out. Moral of the story, I brush my teeth in the morning.
You know, you know,
What a segue.
you know.
Oh shit.
Now that we got that out the way, let's get to week one of the NFL. Hey, all right, so let me get to this. Let me get to this. Okay, and congratulations, Jaguars, with the victory. This is the worst week one I've ever witnessed in my entire life. Week 1 Sunday, I should say. Friday night football, good football. Thursday night football, good football. Not saying that there weren't good games. Just the play on the field was so mid across the 13 game spectrum we witnessed. Or no, 12 games. No, I might be having too many games. It's 16 to, 12 games.
Yeah, don't count the one that's.
Yeah, because we're recording Sunday night. We're not going to watch Monday Night Football, and I'm not watching the game. We're not watching the game live, of course, but we're tracking it as we speak. But yeah, like I watched some of the Jaguars game. Trevor Lawrence wasn't very impressive. We all know Bryce Young, but and those who thanks for those who watched the YouTube Lando Sports discussion. But I mentioned this about the Panthers, that because they had no weapons on the outside, how are we expecting them to be better offensively? Like you went out and got nothing on offense, and then was like, yeah, Bryce is gonna be so much better this year. And it's like, do I expect them to win 6 or 7 games? Yeah, but like this drastic improvement that some of the professional bettors were talking about, I didn't see that. They didn't get better offensively. They lost
And
Thielen. They lost his 2 best receivers from last season.
yeah, and I think because they were just looking at how he finished last
That's what I'm
season.
saying. And I even mentioned that. I was like, yeah, I understand that they feel that way because usually when bad teams finish strong, they build on that, but they didn't build on the roster. So the Jaguars improved their defense, and it showed. Again, I didn't watch too much of the game because the Jets game was on, but I caught glimpses of it. Um, the the Jets game was probably the best game. The best performance I would say that I saw from the quarterbacks today. I mean, Aaron Rodgers played well. This is unforgivable. The Miami Dolphins. Y'all made Daniel Bunza Jones look like a competent quarterback. And you remember I even mentioned that their defensive backs are like pathetic. But y'all shouldn't be. Y'all gave up Jalen Ramsey, who's the reason they beat us today. For Minka Fitzpatrick, who was looking like a who he played for player out there today. The Browns, we seen them. We done with the 40s. And what I mean by we done with the 40s, we done with the 40-year-old quarterbacks. Joe Flacco was horrible today. So Ashton Genty, who I was excited to watch today, averaged 2 yards a carry. Averaged 2 yards a carry. Nobody went off except right now. Of course, King Henry is going off because that's what he does. But nobody was. Jordan Love played well. So that game wasn't very competitive throughout the full game, but it was a solid game. So there was like a lot of close games, but there weren't really any good games. It was just like everybody's offense sucked today. There was like no good offense. And it's like, oh, well, I love defense. I really do. But I like when defense plays well, similar to what Jalen Ramsey did the last 2 plays of the Jets drive. Like I like when good defenders make good defensive plays. And then it's like, I'm watching these games. I got on Red Zone. I got it, then I'm watching the Jets game on the main TV. Got Red Zone on my tablet, so I can catch 4 games at a time or multiple games at a time. I'm like, every year I do the list of how good quarterbacks are based off of their performance. Lamar and Josh Allen got a chance, but I mean, it's far and away right now Jalen Hurts, right? Like best performance of week one for all at least the quarterbacks. I'm like, I was pissed. I was pissed at Trevor Lawrence mostly because my Brian Thomas Jr. barely had one catch. I'm like, but like I said, it was just not there was not very many good performances. So that's my takeaway from week one. And everybody's like, oh well, there's less preseason games and this, that, and the
Well,
other.
what's his name did? Herbert did.
You know what? I didn't watch that game, so I didn't. I hadn't um, looked at the highlights. But did Herbert play better than Hurts?
Um, if we're looking at if we're looking at counting numbers, yes.
Yeah, but I want to see like how he actually did because that's more of
Not
a
he not visually he did well throwing the football he did it really well.
yeah
Because
yeah.
I got to yeah, I watched that game.
I just need to watch it because I'm like Herbert or Hurts. Well, I guess Hurts was all in one half really, while Herbert would have been through the whole game. I gotta watch it. I usually don't put the list out till Tuesday, so I gotta catch enough film and stuff like that to see. He might be. I didn't watch that game at all. I forgot all about it. I was like, I changed on NFL Network because I thought it was on there, and then it wasn't. And then people was like, oh, it was on YouTube, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So that's why I missed it because I forgot about it till about because I get off from my job at 9. So I already missed like half of it. And I went on NFL Network and it wasn't on. So I was like, oh, maybe it's on one of those streaming apps because I know they're gonna do a lot of the streaming apps and stuff now.
Mhm.
And so I went on Prime to look at that, and it wasn't on there either. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah, he went 25 of 34, so 73% completion percentage, 73 and a half, 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Um, so what was your takeaway from week one?
Yeah, for me, it would say for me personally, it's sort of expected. The starters didn't really play too much in the preseason. It was like, I wouldn't I wouldn't really expect like super dominant performances
Bro,
so far.
last I think it was last season. Maybe it was the year before. Tua threw for like 338 yards week one. Like there was nothing like that going on this week on
Yeah,
Sunday.
what's it called? Like Burrow had like
Mhm.
113 passing yards.
Bro, it's Burrow versus the Browns, dog. I don't know why the Browns have his number like this. I'm surprised they won. I actually put a little money down on the Browns winning. I did pick them to cover as well, but I
Wait,
knew they were going to cover. But like, I'm surprised they won.
what's it called?
If Joe Flacco wasn't such a bum, maybe they would have.
The yeah, Miami's just completely dysfunctional.
Bro,
Like
bro,
that, like the when they played the final preseason game and they couldn't get a first down against the Jaguars' third and fourth string defense. You knew, like when, like
bro. I, you
so.
know, because I wish I didn't have microphone issues because it could have been a true divisional and team breakdown because I called all of this. I was like, matter of fact, I did mention it on the 32 minutes. Like I literally said they're not good because what Miami since McDaniel's been there is they'll start fast and finish slow because they're a speed team, and teams that are built on speed, they generally play well in the warmer weather months, and then they diminish during the winter months. So I'm like, they're not good enough to win early, to have that cushion for the second half of the season. And they let a team with virtually no linebackers just punish them. Tua was so pathetic. And he let Buns of Plenty Jones outplay him. With Tyreek Hill and Devontae Adams. No, is it Adams or Smith?
Now,
No,
Jalen
no, no,
Waddle.
no. Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle. I'm thinking about the Eagles for some reason. Jalen Waddle and Chain, like speed, nothing but speed on turf, and couldn't do nothing with it.
Yeah, what's it called? ETN did well today. Wish he would have scored. Yeah,
Well, he had a 140.
yeah, it's 143. He had a 71-yard run. Shoot, if he hurdles, he scores on that run. Yeah, he had a 71-yard run. What's it called? Puka Nakua. So he gets hit hard, comes out the game bleeding, comes back in, finishes with
Puka, Puka
10
might,
catches.
I think 10 for 130. Puka might. All right, Pro Football Focus had him as the highest rated wide receiver the last 2 seasons. He might be the dude. Like every year there's a different dude being like the consensus number one. He might be that guy this year. Especially now that he's the guy. You don't have to split with um Adams is still there. Or is there. But like Puka's a beast, man. Like have you just watched him like isolated tape by himself? Bruh,
I need to.
you do. I'm surprised you haven't. That dude is amazing, dog. Like I was like, yeah, I probably have Nico Collins as a top 5 wide receiver. I don't even know why I forgot about Puka. That dude's a monster, dog. That don't make no damn sense. He shouldn't be this good.
Yeah, yeah, buns aplenty. That was fucking ridiculous.
He had a
Like,
he had a good game, so I don't want to take it away from him.
no, it's buns aplenty.
But it's
I guess
Buns
he's
of
due for
plenty.
one, right? He's due for
Dead
like
clock is right twice a day, right?
yeah, he's due for like maybe two or three this year, and then he's gonna be back to life, back to reality, I guess.
Yeah. Um, I mean, Sam Donald was exactly what I thought he was. Trash.
Mhm.
I don't want to prey on Russell Wilson's downfall. He probably had the worst game out of everybody I watched today. But again, it's not like I caught every single snap of every single game, but I watched as many snaps as I could have on Red Zone, which kind of sucked because some of them, like I'm watching the Jets game on TV, and sometimes, because of the Red Zone aspect of it, when they show in the Jets game in the Red Zone, I'm catching it twice. So I'm like, dang, I'm missing the game because of this. But he went 17 to 37, I think. The offensive line is in shambles. Andrew Thomas, of course, isn't there. And I'm like, I really want you to succeed, Russ. But you went to the Giants, and I need them to fail. I need Dable to be fired. I need McDaniels to be fired. There's somebody else I need to be fired. I don't know. But when they come to my mind, I want them to be fired as well. And yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, what's his name? Denver, Bo Nix. So did I tell you about something that I know I said it on my breakdowns? Did I tell you about the Sean Payton formula on why he drafted Bo Nix?
No.
So Sean Payton claimed that he came up with this formula that talks about like that evaluates processing speed for a quarterback. He said the highest graded person he had was Patrick Mahomes. And then he didn't do the formula because he was out of coaching. And then when he came back into coaching, and I guess this was his first draft that he can pick his own quarterback, the processing speed, who the player who had the highest processing speed was Bo Nix. So that's why they wanted him. What was he processing today? Because the Titans are not a good team.
Processed meats.
Baloney. Yo, what was luncheon meat? You remember luncheon meat? I don't even see
Yo.
that no more. What was that? That was the Simpsons hot dog.
Yo, I don't know what the fuck was in that shit.
It
But
was
they
like
had
tapioca. It's like tapioca meat.
tapioca pudding bits inside.
You ever seen just like luncheon meat? It was like pink, but it was like assorted different. It was like you getting a bologna
What's
flavored favor reds.
yo yo shit yo? I never heard of trail mix meat, but that is
Yeah, that's what it was. Like I said, it was like the Simpsons hot dog. It was the boot, a rat, a pigeon. What was the other thing that was in the Simpsons hot dog?
it was a rat, a pigeon, the tongue of a boot, and it was it was four things.
Yeah, I can't remember the other thing. It was the boot. There was definitely boot in that thing. I know that for sure. But yeah, so like but that was my favorite thing. Like, of course my boy Kyle, he's a big Washington fan. And I'm seeing like, cause I'm on, like now that football season or sports has started, football season started specifically. I see a lot of Twitters and I follow like all the teams. I think we follow all the teams, all the NFL teams on Twitter. And so you see like the fans, and I'm like, Washington fans, man, I love y'all. Because they really feeling like beating the Giants the way they did really puts them on the map. Like they're one of the 4 or 5 worst teams in football, dog. Like, stop it.
They're
Like
gonna have a top
y'all,
five pick next year.
y'all issue wasn't beating teams like the Giants. Your issue was beating teams like trying to think of a good team. Like the Rams. I don't think they played the Rams last year, but like that level of team is what you need to beat in order for people to start taking you serious. Same thing with Denver last year. They beat up on a lot of really bad teams. So it's like, I've seen them getting so excited. I'm like, bro, like y'all got to relax on this. This is not the team you want to be excited about beating.
Yeah.
Like I need to beat a team with a pulse. So it's just like, um, I don't know, but I enjoy Cam Ward was awful. Cam Ward was awful. I thought he would have at least played solid. But I gotta remember, it's probably the second or third best defensive back unit he was going up against. So as a rookie on the road in altitude, I'm sure that must have been tough on him. But regardless, he didn't play well. What are the rookies? The Vikings play tomorrow, so we'll see what JJ McCarthy does. But yeah, that was my takeaway. This is the most unenthusiastic I've ever came away from week one. Like even the Jets, like I think the stat still remains that Justin Fields has never won a game when his opposing team has scored more than 20 points. The Jets defense did struggle, but then it was like on the short passes. Because like I think 3 of Aaron Rodgers' 4 touch. You know, speaking about touchdown passes, shovel passes got to stop counting as touchdown passes. It's a handoff. Like because you like okay, you toss the ball 3 inches in front of you with somebody who's sweeping around it. That's a pass catch and touchdown. But if you hand it off to somebody, it's almost no different. It's like literally almost no different. What's the difference between that and a toss play? They're all behind the line of scrimmage. So he gets a cheap touchdown off of that, but he didn't really do a whole lot. He played solid. So, but he didn't do a whole lot. Like what people are going to see the 4 touchdowns who didn't watch the game and think that he dominated. He was not like that.
Yeah,
He
he
really
still
was.
hasn't thrown for 300 yards. Finished with 244.
I thought he did one with the Jets last year. I think he broke that streak.
I don't remember.
I think towards the end of the season he did. In a loss, of course. But no, I think we won that game. I think it was one of the last games we ever won. I don't remember. But yeah, like I wasn't really that impressed with anybody. My I don't know. I don't know. I mean, guys had like solid games, but outside of like maybe Puka, like I said, what Derrick Henry is doing right now, um, your boy ETN, there wasn't really many people who had like great games. Well, Brees all had 100 yards, but like I said, it wasn't. I just didn't feel like there was like anybody who had like any spectacular games this season or this week. And there's usually, like you said, it's like there's like game one jitters or whatever, but there's usually like 2 or 3 games where somebody's like amazing, specifically at quarterback, and it's just like there was none of that. Like, as a matter of fact, think about what's the call. You're like, yeah, you said game one, or this is game one. Like, you remember what Derek Carr? Like Derek Carr and the Saints have put up like 48 points or something like that in week one.
Yeah.
I think the highest point total might be the Steelers at 34 points this week so far. So it's
Yeah.
like, and it wasn't even like an impressive 34 either. So I don't know. I don't know. So speaking of week one, let's talk about the Jalen Carter situation.
Mm-hmm.
Dak spits in the direction of Jalen Carter. Jalen then doesn't like it, gets up, walks up into his face. Dak trying to act like he ain't no bitch. Walks past his offensive lineman to go meet him. Then Jalen Carter spits on him. He gets ejected. And everybody is acting like this is the most egregious thing that has ever happened in the history of football. And I absolutely hate it. There has never been somebody who's been suspended for spitting on someone. But for some reason, Jalen Carter needs to.
Absolutely. Because he's yeah.
Is it the quarterback? Is that why this is such a thing?
Well,
Is it
one, no,
is
I
it
think,
because it was a nationally televised game?
yeah, it's like it was nationally televised. It was against the Cowboys. he did it with the umpire standing right there.
That makes sense of why he got ejected. But I'm not that the
Now, I
ejection
don't.
is
But
valid. The suspension is what has me tripping.
wait, he actually got suspended
No, that's what people are calling for. You know they don't do that stuff. They don't like deal with any disciplinary stuff till Monday or Tuesday. So like,
because I was hearing fine, or I
which
was
is
reading fine.
which is what it's always been.
Mhm.
I was like, I really truly hate the media culture nowadays. Suspension, and then freaking dude is on Joe Platt is on social media on his podcast saying he should get a game or two. Technically, he got suspended for the full game. He already got a game. So you want him to get
Yeah.
another game
Nah,
because
he
because
nah,
of because Flem got on a jersey?
nah,
It's not
he
even like he's spitting his face. They
yeah,
got
like
on
he ain't
his
do no Bill
jersey.
Romanowski type of stuff.
I'm like, y'all acting like this dude jumped off the turnbuckle, yo.
Yeah,
How
you
many
know,
games did Miles Garrett get for ripping off a nigga helmet and trying to beat him with it?
I think he got suspended for the rest of the year, so I think that was like 6 games.
Was it the rest of the season?
I think so.
For some reason, I don't feel like it was that long.
Where he reached from, I know it was indefinite, but I think he did get suspended for the rest of the year.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, just let me know if I'm wrong. Yep, he missed the final 6 games. Yeah, so Miles Garrett was suspended indefinitely for the rest of the 2019 NFL season, missing the final 6 games and the postseason after he ripped Mason Rudolph's helmet off and struck the quarterback with it.
So people are thinking that he should get half of that for saliva.
Okay. Nah, you want to know what it is? Even though he missed the game, he still got paid. Even though he didn't play a snap, he still got dressed. He still got paid. So they want to lose a game check for that shit. That's
No,
what it is.
I don't think you get paid if you get ejected.
For real?
I don't think you get paid. Like if I mean like if what I'm saying is like he because he got ejected before the game, I don't think that he got paid for the game. Like if he would have played in the game, that might have been different. But I don't know what the rules are around that. I'm gonna have to ask Big Bro next time I talk to him. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's just a gross overreaction. Like I saw this one lady, she was like, "Oh, he should get suspended," and then the radio host was like, "Yo, it's spit. It's not like he did X, Y, and Z." And she's like, "Oh yeah, because y'all people in Philadelphia just greet each other by spitting on people." And he was like, "No, it's never. Nobody's ever been suspended for spitting on somebody." And it's like, yeah, fine. You know, like you said, a game check, which in how much does Jalen Carter get paid? He's on a rookie deal. He was a top pick, so he probably getting paid what 7, 8 million a year for a game check. Is I don't care what nobody say, man. I don't care how much money you got. So I think somebody won the 1.8 billion, by the way,
Oh,
but
okay.
because I saw the sign, it was back down to 20 million.
Got you.
But I don't care, man. Like you losing a couple $100,000 that you was expecting to come is hideous. I don't care how much money you got. That's rough. That's rough, man.
Yeah.
Shoot, so it's like, and it's your first check you was about to get for the season. You know, from what I've heard, It depends on the organization. They either pay you every week or every other week. So it's like if you get paid every 2 weeks, and he pull up, he get his check, and that check is half of what it usually is. I know his feelings gonna be hurt. What do you think about the Hawk Tua Carter?
Look, he like for me, he um he should have held that in and just whooped his ass all over the goddamn field during within the confines of the game. Because it's like, yeah, okay, you want to give me that disrespect, but it's like, look, like you said, with the people saying what it is that they're saying about he should he should lose game, he should get suspended, and it's like they need to cut it the hell out. Yeah, yeah, y'all don't really mean that shit. It's like it sound good, but y'all don't really mean that shit. What's it called? Yeah, you know what? It would have been, and I think it would have been a huge deal. And the media, now you say the media should are saying that they should suspend Jalen Carter. Oh, the media would have had a field day if the Eagles lost that game because the media would have blamed Jalen Carter.
Oh, the whole thing. Matter of fact, they were doing it during the game because the Cowboys marched right down the field first thing was
Yeah,
drive
there was like,
and scored it running up the middle.
yo, there was like, yo, they said it was like the Cowboys defense is not how they are because they traded Micah Parsons, and the Eagles' defense isn't how they normally are because Jalen Carter got himself ejected. They like you said, all game they kept mentioning that shit.
Bruh.
Like even during the rain delay, so even during even during the weather delay, because they didn't get back to playing until about 11:15.
Yeah,
So
I was like, I can't. I went to bed. I get up too early to be watching this.
so even
I'm
though
glad I went to bed because it didn't seem like there was much of a game after.
yeah, it was like, and they said, and they were saying, man, it sucked. Like it sucked because the Cowboys had just turned the ball over, and the momentum shifted. Yeah, and the momentum shifted to Philly, and then they called the game for then they suspended the game for weather. And I think it was around 10:30 when that shit happened, and they said they had to wait about 45 minutes. Yeah, yeah. It was like around 10:30 when that shit happened. So it was like actually it was longer than that because 11:15 yeah they wanted to resume the game at 11:15, so they went back out at 11:15, and then they had to warm up for 10 minutes before they actually started. But that's neither here nor there. My thing is, look, you got to be smarter about the way that you conduct yourself on, especially with all these eyes on you. It's like, but they should be, since they called it a spit gate. Somebody called it spit gate. It was like, everything don't need to have a fucking gate behind it. But
Bruh.
it's like when Dak said he spit, he was talking to his offensive lineman, and then he had to go spit. So you mean to tell me you couldn't turn
Bruh.
around and do that shit?
Bruh,
We watched you do this shit. Like there's exactly.
I'm sick of these people. We literally watched you talking to him, spit in his direction,
And then smile.
and then smiling at him. Oh shit.
It's like it's like, if they didn't keep on bringing it up and bringing it up and bringing it up, I don't think we would have ever known.
Exactly.
We would have never known that that dude actually did what he did. It was like, thank goodness for the magic of television and primetime television, just primetime football altogether, being the only game on and all these millions of eyes are on you. And then you turn around, do that shit, and think that you could flip it and say, I needed to spit. And I was talking to my offensive lineman. Like, like, dog, get the fuck out of here with that shit. It's like Jalen should have did his shit on like I know he spit on the field technically, yeah. But he should have let his gameplay he should have let his gameplay get the revenge that he needed for the disrespect.
Yeah.
Because a victory on the field and dominating you would have been all he needed to show that, hey, don't ever disrespect me like that again. Hey, fuck, you could have went after Dak Prescott and beat his ass on the field after the game. I mean, I remember when Golden Tate and Jalen Ramsey fought each other. They neither one of them got suspended.
Oh, really?
Yeah, neither one of them got suspended. I don't think they even got fined. It's like, well, that shit happened after the game. It was like it wasn't necessarily within the confines, but
Oh, that's probably why they didn't get suspended. And yeah, that's the other part of it too. That's the other part of it too. It's like it wasn't during the game. Like people like freaking Shad was like, "Oh, this is going to cost the Shield money, and this is about revenue." I'm like, "What are you saying?"
it's like, oh my goodness, he spit on this guy. Let's go ahead and watch reruns of Family Guy instead.
Yeah, I was like, "This is a gross overreaction," and it's just like, I think it's one of those things where it's like he was he was one of the people who reported that he had character issues.
Hmm.
And so it's like, oh, see, this is what I was talking about. And this is, and so it's like, it justifies him or it validates what he was saying. So then it's like, so now you need to overreact. And this is why, like, I hate the sports media most of the time because all of y'all are disingenuous. All of y'all are disingenuous. They'll sit there and they'll say, this guy is, um, this guy is good, this guy is bad, whatever, and then sit there and be like, "Oh, we like that's not what I was saying," or like they'll make stuff up. Like I was watching a clip from Broussard and what's the Broussard and Nick Wright show? First things first.
Hmm.
No, is this still called that?
Yeah, still call first things
Okay,
first.
'cause I know it's not, I don't know what time. I only get to see it in the clips now. I don't know what time it comes on. 'Cause I know it used to come on like 6 something in the morning, but I don't know if it comes on that time anymore. But the topic was who had a tougher situation to be in, Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. And this dude is being a pure fanboy saying that it was Patrick Mahomes. And then Chris Broussard was like, he came in with multiple Pro Bowlers. And he was like, you're just talking about how good the offense was. I'm talking about the whole team. He said they were 12-4 the year before. And so that's what I'm saying. It's just like you're being such a fanboy. You're not being authentic. This take is an inauthentic take. And that's like it's people like that that bother me.
And it's just like, not saying that these people don't have good takes at times, but it's just like it's not authentic. And that's not to say like people can't change their mind. Tom Brady took over a team that went 5-11 and was 0-2 before he started, and he got them to a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl. And Bill Belichick was not already primed to be Hall of Fame coach. Andy Reid, remember, he went to 5 NFC championships in that same time frame that Bill Belichick was winning with Tom Brady.
Yep.
Is Mac Jones still in the league? Is he still on your team?
What?
Mac Jones.
No, he's in. I think he's in San Fran.
Good Lord. He wanted him too. I think that was the quarterback he really wanted, but the ownership forced him to pick another guy who shouldn't be in the league. I don't even remember his name. Trey? No, it's not Trey Young. That's basketball.
Trey
What was his
Lance.
name? Trey Lance. Okay. Speaking of guys who shouldn't be in the league, so I was listening to the Secret of Success podcast. Yeah, I love the podcast, and they were talking about like having a system, having anchors, and so they were talking about Bill Parcells' formula for like a successful quarterback, and it was they had to start 30 games, win 23. This is drafting quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's like win 23
Complete.
games. He had to complete more than 60% of his passes.
Yeah,
He had to been a senior,
a senior. Yeah, and
and he
then
had to have played at
no,
least
yeah,
30.
yeah, played at least 30, and then
Yeah.
he had to have a 2-to-1 touch interception and touchdown ratio.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wonder how many great quarterbacks didn't fit that mold, which it wasn't a lot of them. Like I don't think his formula would work today because guys are tending to come out earlier. Guys aren't really playing into their senior year.
Yeah, and
Um,
there's a lot of guys that are just playing 1 year and coming out.
well, that was the interesting thing, which me personally, I don't like when a guy only plays 1 year and comes out. Like Cam Newton was such an outlier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, he played more than 1 year, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like he just started that 1 year, had a historic run, and then had a really great, good NFL career. But like he was such an like there's certain things like you just can't factor. Like he was such an athletic monster at quarterback. You just couldn't. I think Matt Leinart was it Matt Leinart who said that no, it was well not I think it was Carson Palmer who said that Josh Allen is the most athletic quarterback he's ever seen. And he
Mm.
said he can throw the ball better than Cam Newton. He's a better runner than Cam Newton, which I don't
What the
even know
f-
how you can equate that.
No, he meant to say for a white guy.
Yeah, I think that's I think it's one of the because he was like, well, he's faster, like he ran a faster 40 time. But I'm like, I've watched the two of them run during an NFL game. I didn't watch them run either one of them run their 40s, but I watched both of them run during an NFL game. I've never accused Josh Allen of being fast. Not faster than Cam Newton. I've never seen Josh Allen really run away from nobody. I've seen Cam Newton run away from people. Like, so I don't know. I don't know what these guys are watching. So it's just like, and he's an former NFL player, like, played, had a great career. But I'm like, sometimes I'll be thinking, like, okay, we got to stop acting like just because you play pro sports, that means you don't have no bias. But like, so, anyways, back to Bill Parcells. So there was, but, and I'm sure, like, so I was like, I wonder how firm he was on this formula. So I looked at every Hall of Fame quarterback that was drafted from Bill Parcells' head coaching career to now. And so I was like, okay, it was quite a bit. Then I looked at every Super Bowl winning quarterback. There was quite a bit. So I'm like, okay, maybe this thing is a thing. But then I was like, every Super Bowl winning quarterback. So it pulled every Super Bowl quarterback who won the Super Bowl from 1983 to 2024. Guess who wasn't on the list?
I don't know.
This Phil Simms wasn't on the list. The quarterback he won a Super Bowl with
Oh
didn't
wow.
fit the criteria, only fit two of the six criteria he had.
Because where did he go to college? It was a small
Morehead
school.
State.
Moorhead, yes. Well, I knew it was a small school.
So neither quarterback that I think because I don't think Phil Simms won both Super Bowls.
He
Or did he?
didn't. Hostetler played in the other one.
Neither quarterback he drafted fit the criteria that he wanted for to have the picture of a great NFL quarterback.
Wait, who was the other one?
The Hostetler. So I was like, so in the podcast they were like, because it actually sounds really good, and it's not like those guys are sports experts. And I just kind of did it because I was like, man, that's incredible that he had a formula. And they were talking about like, like, hey, have a formula, have a system. Like it's systems that drives winning in all things, even in life. So I get what they were trying to say, but I'm like, Bill Parcells didn't even follow his own system.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so then I was like, okay, there are outliers, but it seemed like his criteria meant you were less likely to draft a bust
Mm.
than you were to draft a great quarterback. Because when I pulled up how many busts didn't fit the criteria versus did, it was like 12-3. It might have been more than that. Like Brady Quinn, I think was one of them. That old dude that played quarterback was one of them. Brandon Whedon. He was one of the people that fit the criteria. I don't know, but it was funny because I remember when Brady Quinn came out and they said he was too. He had like it's funny because people make fun of Patrick Mahomes for having the dad bod, but John Gruden didn't want him. He didn't think he was going to be a good quarterback because he said he was in too good a shape. He's like, yeah, I'll never draft a quarterback with a six pack.
What you talking about? Brady Quinn?
Yeah, he said he never drafted
Come
a
on,
quarterback
my
with a
man was
six.
drinking Mileplex. He was done.
I was like, drafting a quarter, like, why would a quarterback, you just think about it like, oh, like, because you don't really think about how, like, what a guy looks like with their shirt off, when they play in a sport, but it's just like, but you kind of just assume that they're muscular.
Yeah, because they're athletes.
Yeah, but then it's just like, oh, like, why is the quarterback? And it's like, oh yeah, like you need some fat in your body to absorb the like quarterbacks because they're looking down the field, even though they get protected, they get this wide. They're the ones who get protected because they take the hardest hits.
Yeah.
So more
Because
consistently, anyways, because wide receiver, running backs, they take big hits, but they'll usually kind of see it coming, similar to when Garrett Wilson got blown up and dropped the pass that would have at least kept the game going this year. Like he turned around and saw it coming, he still got rocked though. So it's like that's not the case. Dude, matter of fact, the series before, Aaron Rodgers took a vicious shot from Quincy Williams. Matter of fact, he accidentally ran into it trying to get away. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, these quarterbacks take some big shots sometimes. Now, a lot of sacks don't really look that bad because, but when they take a shot, like it's bad. So I'm like, But then I'm like, okay, but also was Bill Parcells a defensive coach or an offensive coach?
Defensive,
So why did he have a quarterback criteria?
because he knew he wasn't gonna coach him.
Yeah, so they were talking about it. I was like, man, so it was a great lesson, but I'm like, I wonder, and I was just kind of like trying to do the research. So I was like, if I would have never looked at that list of Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, I would have I would have never known. I'm like, oh shoot, this dude didn't even have a quarterback that won him any of his Super Bowls that fit that criteria.
Hey, yeah, sound good.
But guess who did fit that criteria? Bo Nix.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Sean Payton coached under Parcells.
Yeah, but of course, Bo Nix fit that criteria. He
He was in
played
college
in.
for 9 years. He played like four schools.
He played two, but that is neither here nor there. It
Dude,
just seemed like he
man,
was never leaving college.
bruh.
It was like he was at
I'll never forget when
Auburn
I heard him in the draft, and I'm like, I know I've been hearing this guy's name since pre-COVID.
because
I
he
was
was
like,
at
was he a high school
Auburn.
player? I'm like,
Yeah,
no, them Auburn fans hated him.
yeah, because he was he couldn't win when it mattered the most, and then he went to Oregon, which it seemed like they're always tailor made to win. But the Pac-12 was weak anyway. But yeah, yeah. And what's it called with the bodies? When you said John Gruden wouldn't he said he didn't want Brady Quinn because he can't coach a quarterback with a six pack. It made me think about when Jaden Daniels went on Kevin Hart's Coldest Balls. I was like, yo, that dude's body is built like an autopsy.
Oh, is he skinny?
Yeah, it was like no muscle definition. That dude is
Really?
Yeah, that dude is like brown construction paper with nipples on it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, yo, no build.
Ah, I mean, I don't know. I guess because he looked skinny on TV, but
Yeah, he does. But you would think like no
like
definition.
yeah, an NFL player is like, wow. Like if he was a basketball player, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, because Kevin Durant has no definition.
I mean, a lot of them don't. Like, there's more
Yeah,
skinny guys than like guys who are built like
like
LeBron.
folks are gonna be built more like KD than Corey Maggette.
Yeah, Gordon McGiddy had shoulders out this world, yo. You know who's built like him?
Who
Uh, Tatum.
built like
Yeah,
Corey Maggette?
yeah. You ever looked at Tatum? He has big, broad shoulders.
Nah, I looked at a. I would never I never. It sounds really weird. I never really paid attention to his shoulders more so that his biceps. His biceps and forearms are so fucking big. It was like, how's this dude not driving the lane every single time?
Who? You talking about Tatum?
Maggette.
McGiddy. Well, I mean, he would bang on people. He could. He was one of those high flyers.
No,
But
but Tatum, I never really paid any attention to. Maybe
what's it
because
called?
it's fucking weird.
So, I was texting. My boy Kyle. He's a Celtics fan. So it was one guy to go, and it was like Melo, and then so he sent me a thing about Melo, and he mentioned Tatum, and I said Melo's just better, and he was like, and I said, and not his lane, and so he said, man, Tatum something along the lines of like Tatum could do everything. I was like, yeah, he's a medium too. And he was like, medium. I was like, yeah, he taught the spirits. he hoop, and hit you with a seance.
So, well, he texted Kobe waiting for that answer, huh?
Bruh. Bro, yo, it's like, man, it's really nothing wrong with it, but it's just like, bro,
Everything's wrong with it.
you posted that for clout just to get bounced, dog, just to get bounced up out of there, man.
We did it.
Yeah. That dude, it's so wrong with that dude, man. You lame to LMA though, so I can't, you can't be that lame, right?
Maybe.
Nah, because Russell Wilson's pretty lame, and he lame to Sierra.
I'm saying
This his passes weren't unlimited today.
he was very limited.
Yeah, he was the most limited.
I'm saying he wasn't spicy.
And hits he was taking was spicy.
I gotta watch that commercial because I want to know what sandwich he was eating that was so fucking spicy.
I don't know, it's some sriracha thing from Subway.
Yeah, it's like that. He's like he had two of them. It was like, yeah, you double fisted.
Yo, all right, so this is the last thing I wanted to talk about before we wrap this thing up. We're back on this conversation about generational talents. First, it was an NBA conversation. Then now it's an NFL conversation because of what Ryan Clark did, which I forget the guy's name. He got offended. He was like, "I'm just giving a different perspective. Don't belittle what I have to say because I didn't play." And he's like, "Bro, that wasn't about you. It was about like where we coming from." And so, but it's just like because he said something like it was a non-player you. And he said Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Drew Brees were not generational talents. And people, I hate that y'all making LeBron right. I really hate that all of y'all making LeBron right. Because people are instantly going to how many championships Tom Brady won and also the numbers that they put up.
Mm.
Generational careers have nothing to do with how talented you were as a youngster. Tom Brady was not recruited by a California school. If you do you think if he was a generational talent, they would have let him lead the state of California? No.
If he was such a generational talent, even
Would he
even if
have
he chose to
split
go,
time with Drew Henson?
yeah, it's like he had to split. He had to split time every single time he played. Like this dude,
If he
it's
was a
like
generational talent,
he wouldn't have gotten drafted where he got drafted.
now here's the thing though. Peyton Manning was the first overall pick. If he was a generational talent, would Ryan Leaf's name even came up?
It- folks were really wonder because Peyton
Wasn't
Manning,
Drew Brees a second round pick?
yes, Drew Brees was a second round pick.
Those are not generational talents.
It was like Peyton Manning. They were wondering because he was a finished product. They didn't think that he would improve. That basically his plateau was college, and that's what you saw was what you got.
But one can make a case that outside of his improving like his mind, skill set, he didn't really improve. Like to be honest, the two Super Bowl runs that he had wasn't because he played great.
Yeah, because
Both instances, the defense, the
yeah,
Colts defense specifically played of their minds.
yeah, it's like the moment they got Bob Sanders back is the moment that defense went crazy. It was
Like
like
yeah, Bob Sanders, like when Bob Sanders was there, he was like the heart and soul of that team defensively. They went Bob Sanders was a 5'8", 165-pound safety. Like he friggin' Allen Iverson on the football field, and he made that much of an impact. He played safety, not linebacker, not defensive line. He played safety and made that much of an impact on their run defense. All of
and
a sudden,
then
they knew how to stop the run.
and then Peyton's last
He
his
and then he got benched for a while because he was playing that,
yeah, because what's it called? He was
or maybe he
losing.
was hurt.
Yeah, no, he was losing. he was
He was
losing his
losing because he had like a
arm
tricep
strength.
issue.
Yeah, he said
Because
it's
the neck thing.
yeah, he started losing. His arm strength was dwindling, and then they put Brock Osweiler in there. Then when the playoffs started,
I think Osweiler got somebody got hurt. Oh no, maybe Osweiler was just hella bummed,
nah,
and that's what
yeah,
happened.
Osweiler. I think Osweiler played in the playoffs, and then they benched him in the Super Bowl for the Super Bowl for Peyton Manning to play.
Oh,
I
I
think
don't
that's
know.
how it went. They benched Osweiler for the game, and Peyton Manning ended up playing in the game. He didn't play well at all.
I want to say Osweiler got benched the week before, or the in the AFC Championship game. I don't think they benched him for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but yeah, he didn't. Like you said, the Colts, the first run with the Colts, it was the defense. What's his name?
Both times was the defense.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right because there was nothing that Carolina could do.
So like it's not like he played so spectacularly through, not in the regular season, he was fantastic. But like his two Super Bowl runs, it's not like he played like it's not like he was putting up like these amazing games and that won them the Super Bowl. This is he didn't really in the two Super Bowls that he played in, like even like I'm not talking about like just the Super Bowl. I'm talking about like the whole playoff run. He didn't play well. I think the one game that he did real play, I think he played well in one game, and that was when they beat the Patriots like 38-34 or something like that. Or
Yeah,
you know,
the championship game.
yeah. So it's just like that was like he had one great game out of six playoff games no 6 or 7 playoff games in which he had a Super Bowl run. So it's just like it's not like he like elevated his game in the playoffs like a Patrick Mahomes or a Tom Brady did.
Yeah, I don't think people understand what the term generational talent actually means.
Yeah, like all right, people, y'all need to listen. A generational talent is all about the talent. Has nothing to do with how well their careers turn out. Listen again. It's all about their raw talent, not how well their careers are going to come out. Trevor Lawrence is a generational talent. His career has not panned out very well. John Elway was a generational talent. He didn't win. He didn't win until he was pretty much cooked as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Cam Newton is a generational talent. Lamar Jackson, even though we did just make the case for Tom Brady being picked late, Lamar
Mm.
Jackson is a generational talent, was a generational talent. It's the stereotypes that made him not be the first overall pick. And also
Mm.
the Browns being a horrible franchise. But as far as pure talent, he was the most talented player in that draft. Or really between him and and Allen, in which now both of them are probably the two best quarterbacks in football. Especially if you're talking talent, they are. Some draft picks they just because the franchise is stupid. But like those guys for what they could do on the field and what they did on the field. And he even mentioned, he was like, oh, so is Lamar Jackson a generational talent? He was like, yeah. And dude was like, oh, how is he? And he's like, bro, like, because they were talking about Arch Manning. And he was like, bro, Lamar Jackson was winning a Heisman when he was his age. At Louisville, of all places. Not no blue blood school. I forgot Louisville had a team before Lamar Jackson got there and since Lamar Jackson left. He went to a basketball school, which I'm not even sure they're still good at basketball. Haven't heard of that college in so long.
Yeah, speaking of Josh and Lamar,
What's the count?
34-19 Baltimore.
Bruh.
Um Lamar is 12 of 15 for 194 and two touchdowns. Derrick Henry has 13 carries for 129 yards and a touchdown. So almost averaging 10 yards per carry.
That's insane. Baltimore just destroys teams during the regular season.
Yo, Derrick Henry gonna run for 2,000 yards and get into an Adam Sandler movie.
Somebody I saw posted this thing about like how great Derrick Henry is because they were like if he retired now he'd have a Hall of Fame career and he probably got like a good 2 or 3 years left in him. And then but they said like he had multiple 2,000 yard seasons. So I was like, no, he didn't. Why a whole bunch
Um,
of people in the comment section was like, you don't know what you're talking about. He had 2,000 yards in 2020 or whatever it was.
hmm.
I'm like,
Football.
y'all said y'all don't read. He said multiple. You're naming 1 year. What's the other year? Now he could have had it last year. He was very close to having it last year.
Yeah, he was very
Matter of
close.
fact, if he would have had a because he didn't do anything when they played the Eagles. If he would have a solid game against the Eagles, he would have got it. So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that dude has 11,000 rushing yards and he had to sit on the bench.
for 2 seasons.
Was it two? Was it three?
I'm pretty sure it was two.
I'm about to go and check. I,
Derrick Henry might be the best running back we've seen this generation, like the last decade. I mean, well, no, he runs. Man, that's tough. 'Cause what's the last decade? Now, LT was a shell of himself by then. So between him and Adrian Peterson,
yeah, but Peterson came in what?
he got drafted on 7, I think.
Yeah, what's his name? Henry was drafted 2016.
Oh shoot, last decade. I'm thinking too many years back. Last decade is 2015. So yeah, no, he might be the best in the last decade. Because when did Adrian Peterson his last great season might have been before 2015. Like great season, not just him getting 1,000 yards. When did he go to Washington?
I'm about to go look that up. He went to Washington in 2018. Yeah,
So his
his last
last great season was
last
probably
great
2016,
season was
2015.
2015.
How many yards a year?
1485. Oh, yeah, 1485.
Yeah. So yeah, last decade might be Derrick Henry. Has to be. Who else?
Yeah, because
I mean, Saquon is in the last decade, and he had a great season last season, but he's been hampered with injuries. So has Christian McCaffrey. So who else would be in that running?
yeah, shoot, I really couldn't tell you.
All right, best wide receiver in the last decade.
You said 2015?
From 2015 to now.
Uh, he retired so long ago. I want to say Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown, he retired, what, 4 years ago?
Yeah, yeah, it's 4 years ago. But yeah, I wouldn't even be able to say that. So 2015, 2016. So 2015 to 2018, he had he had he was getting almost 1,300 yards more. But then super fall off when he after his last year in Pittsburgh.
The issue is it might have to be a guy that was drafted around that 20. Like they probably couldn't have played. You probably have to like at work at best go back. They might have had to been drafted 2012, 2013,
Got you.
because you said he had those 3 seasons and then he was out of the league in a couple years. So that's not enough of that decade. Saying that he was the best of the decade. It might be guys like that's more recent. Um, more. I mean, because shoot, might be Devontae Adams,
It might be.
Julio Jones. I never really thought much of him. Julio Jones just retired.
You can't say Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, yeah. I don't think he's better than Julio though.
Shoot, what's it called?
He got in the end zone more.
Maybe maybe even Hopkins? Maybe?
I know I was never high on Hopkins, even though he was really good. I wouldn't put him over Julio and Mike Evans.
Yeah, I would say Devontae.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Devontae from
Last
20.
spot, if we were narrowing down to 5 years, it would definitely be Jefferson. Even
Yeah.
though this is his fourth season in the league, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's been top 2 or 3 every year since he's been drafted. So Jamar
Shoot,
Chase would be in that conversation. But
a guy
Devontae Adams would still be in the conversation if we narrowed down to 5 years. So it
yeah,
has to be him.
a guy that would have been on this list if not for injuries would have been Odell.
Yeah, yeah. That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up. Um, what's your partnership?
My parting shot is stop pillow talking. Um, Young Thug got all of his I don't know who did it. But Young Thug got his prison phone calls leaked. He was talking about everybody. He said Glorilla was ugly. He talked about cheating on his girlfriend.
With dudes?
Huh?
With dudes?
I don't know.
Because you said he was in prison, and so
No,
then
no,
I'm
no.
like,
I
okay,
think
like,
before he went.
okay, I'm like, bruh,
No,
that's
so
crazy.
he said Glorilla was ugly. He apologized for that. He said Kendrick was not going to be bigger than Drake because of the fact that he didn't do a song with because Kendrick refused to do a song with him. It's like he talk about his own people like snitching and everything, and he just had an interview like clearing the air, but it's like, yo, sometimes you just got to keep your fucking mouth shut.
I mean, why would they leak his prison phone calls? That's so
You know,
spiteful.
I think it's that because of the fact that how because it was like he was calling Gunna a rat for taking a plea deal back in 2022. Yeah, he was calling Gunna a rat. He was like, "Oh, he's this, he's that." It's like he said all this nonsense about him just for him to be incriminating himself over these phone calls. Yeah, over these phone calls and how he really feels about other folks. Now, I don't get how hip hop. I don't get hip hop at all because I don't know how Young Thug is a rat in this situation, but somehow, some way, he's being called a snitch. It's like, it's
Well,
like,
Michael Jordan's being called a snitch for not saying any names, so
it's like,
in his own documentary. So whatever.
it's like y'all never. It was like no, I don't understand why. I'm glad I'm not in hood politics because even niggas that partake in hood politics don't even follow their own code anyway. So it's like, but just be careful who you talking to, or yeah, be careful who you talking to, or anything of that nature. Because it's like, look, now this dude is being questioned whether he's a real street nigga or not, because now he's being labeled a snitch or not even or not loyal or anything of that nature. It's like, look, just watch who you talking to and keep better company. Honestly, because my thing is this: all these niggas that love the street, you gotta understand the streets don't love you back. But welcome to Score Society.
Um, my parting shot is week one sucked. In the good game, at least the game that I think is good, we doing this podcast during it, of course. And usually primetime games ain't all that crazy. But yeah, week one sucked. That's my parting shot. Thank y'all so much for the Between Brothers podcast or watching if you've seen this on YouTube. We love y'all. We'll see you next week.